There we go. I've got a lot of screens open. All right. Justin, good now. Justin, good now. Caitlin, I figured out how to do my picture-in-picture. But I'll be looking over here most of the time as I click through stuff. But anywho, good now, Christy. How's everyone feeling this fine Saturday? Or Saturday night, depending on where you are. Good now, Susie. Who else popped in here? Laura, good now. Laura. Fantastic. I'm glad. I'm so glad. Let me move this over so I could. Who else has popped in? KD with my tuxedo cat. Leslie, good now, love. Enoch, good now. I have a cousin named Enoch. He's just a baby. Well, I don't know, a couple years old. Beth, good now, love. Good now, Fatika. I'll get started in about 30 seconds or so. We called Kiddo the baby until she was like 7. I called, when I had my puppy, she was a baby all the time. Like, puppies don't grow up. I love it. So did she correct people saying my name is the baby. Good now, Dana. But Bubbles haven't started scrolling yet, so good now, Fatika. I can't see who all's here. Good now, love. I think I saw Lolo. Who's that? Saw. Good now, Saw. No, eventually she was like, I am not a baby, so we had to do some radical acceptance and reframes. Oh. Oh, I know. When I'm watching my niece and nephew grow up, I was like, I don't know how you're surviving this. Like, I want them to stay a baby. Good now, Christina. Like the first time I heard my niece say hi or something, I was in tears. I'm like, I don't know how y'all do that as parents. I'm not, this is just too much. All right, let's get this party started. Good now, Arinda. Now they're scrolling through. Let's see. Hey, Jack. Good now, sir. All right. And as I see you, I will say good now as I can. All right. Good now, everyone. Welcome to Exploring the 7 States of Consciousness. This conversation was spawned by a Free Flow Friday conversation. If you've never joined us on Free Flow Friday, would love to have you. It's the conversation is led by the conversation. There's no actual structure or anything, and it goes sometimes we have a dance party and it's 6 a.m. where I am at that time. And sometimes we have really deep conversations. So this one was spawned by a conversation we had yesterday, and which makes me grateful for IT allowing 24-hour session, putting our sessions up. So I was like, oh, let's talk about this tomorrow. Or that was suggested. I was like, okay, we'll talk. Good now, love. So in case you're wondering, I do have 2 screens and you all are on my right screen. So if I look away, I'm checking the chat and checking my outline. But water first, apparently. Side profile. Is it my good side, I hope? Okay. So you know a little bit of why this call is here. This call. Can y'all tell I used to be, what was it on Clubhouse? This call, this room. I still use those terms. Anywho, why this came about. This will just be a high-level overview just because it could go really deep. So this is not going to be a master class or anything like that. I am drawing from the coursework that I'm doing in my master's program in consciousness and human potential. So all of the things that we'll talk about have come from papers I've written, and this slide presentation, it's not really a presentation, it's just topics, kind of an outline really. So just wanted to point that out. I am Nicole Batiste, for those who do not know me, and I really focus on raising people's consciousness because it raises the inner peace, which emanates into the world, and that is the way to world peace. So world peace through inner peace, that is my goal and my purpose in life. So one of those things is helping people stay consistent in their meditation to cultivate that further. And speaking of that, yeah, tomorrow is World Meditation Day. I will be live 8 a.m. Eastern and 5 p.m. Eastern if you would like to join us. And of course, I forgot to make the cards for that, but I'm curious if I can make the card and still share it. Sometimes it doesn't let you share after you've already started the live. I forgot to do it. I'm just curious. Bear with me. Let me see if it does. No, not 5 a.m. I said 5 a.m. 8 a.m. Sorry. Good now, Lynn. No, it doesn't come because I had already started live. Okay, all good. Yes, 8 a.m. tomorrow and 5 p.m. tomorrow Eastern. Thank you, Justin. Good now, Lynn. All right, so that's what we'll be diving into today. So consciousness is, we already know that. Well, for one, knowledge is structured in consciousness, but we'll get to that. Consciousness is basically, it's the different states of consciousness are not something that you think into existence. It is something that gets cultivated because it requires a different development of your nervous system for you to be able to sustain different states of consciousness. So that was one of the interesting points that I've learned since diving into this master's program, and it's been proven through scientific studies through that have been able to be done through the Transcendental Meditation system. And so that is, it comes over time, because if you have a lot of stress, it's in the nervous system, it's in the body. I'm sure y'all have heard, learned, trauma, stress, all of that lives in the body if it's not expressed and processed out. And so first of all, I do want to caveat, well, not caveat, but this will be coming from the lens of TM, and again from my master's program, which is, it talks about TM a lot. All students and faculty are required to learn TM, which is how I ended up in it. Didn't even know that was a thing, and then now I want everybody to do TM. I did do a specific talk on Transcendental Meditation here live. If you want to watch the replay, it's on the channel, the tube of you. You're welcome to take a look at that, and in the comments you can ask any questions that come up, but I digress. Transcendental Meditation, they've done, because of the way it's systematically taught to every student or to every seeker, they've been able to do scientific studies and study the physiology and everything. So that's how they have learned that there are different states of consciousness. One of my favorite things that Maharishi says, who founded the school, he brought TM to the Western. He's like, you can't make a mood of something. You have to actually grow into it. It's not the same. Because some people are like, they'll think about it. I'm doing this for this, I'm doing that for that. But when you're thinking about it, you're not even on the level from where it comes from. You're still on the waking level. We'll get to that in a second. But when you're elevating or evolving, it doesn't happen from thinking that you're doing it, or specifically some of the acts that you're doing can help get there, but it's not those acts that make you that. So one of my favorite analogies he would use is, if you think about the bread, it doesn't fill your belly. You have to go and make it and then eat it. So, and I always like to share too, you can't, for one, it's hard to kind of describe the different states, what you experience, because it's beyond words, it's beyond thought. So a lot of the descriptions are not going to be they're not going to be like to the level. So you have to experience it. You know that saying, you got to be there? Same kind of concept. So you have, like, if you've never had an apple before and I try to tell you how an apple tastes, you won't even, you're like, I don't, okay, great, thanks for telling me. So same thing with experiencing the transcendental state and all of these states of consciousness. You hear it, you can kind of conceptualize it, maybe to a degree it is pretty abstract, but you don't know it until you've experienced it. So the first three states of consciousness, well, first of all, I like this quote. It's kind of what I was just talking about. Dr. Craig Pearson, he's one of our professors as well. So we're all familiar with waking, dreaming, and sleeping. Those are the first three states of consciousness. Good now, Jamie. Good now, Robin. Consciousness companions. Yay. I'm here. My sister called from out of state. No worries, Linda. I just got started, and plus, this is being recorded, so it's on the tube, so you can catch the front half of it. So we're all familiar with waking, sleeping, and dreaming, right? We're in our waking state of consciousness right now, unless, of course, you have already developed into other states of consciousness. Then it's not just waking state, it's a coexistence of one of the higher states, unless you're in unity. We'll get there. And if you think about it, when you're sleeping or when you're dreaming, some of the things that you're dreaming about can't happen in waking state, right? Because it's literally a different state. Like flying, some of the things that you can't do. Of course, there are some dreams that are pretty realistic, but things that happen in a dream, the tiger coming at you is in the dream. It's not the same as in the real world. So it takes different states of consciousness to experience those different states. So that is the simple of it. Maharishi calls, as you evolve, he calls it knowingness, which is kind of what I was alluding to when I was talking about the apple just now. Like, you kind of know, but you don't really understand. Vivid feels, those types of dreams feel so incredibly real and going forever. Yeah, they can be. It can be. I love that you are dreaming. It's a good thing. So let's see who's here. Good now, Farish. Who else? Bonnie. Good now, love. Steve, good now. Who else has popped in since I looked over here? Rochelle, good now. Another kitty cat. Moby, good now, Moby. And Kim S, good now, from Arlington, Virginia, right down the street. I love it. Luis, good now, sir. All right, I think have I gotten everyone? Earth Day. Hopefully I'm saying your name correctly. It's very rare I have them, but when I do, it's the vivid ones. Okay. Gotcha. Ila Rosa, good now, love. All right, I think I said good now to everyone. Are there any questions so far? You got your notebook out? I love it. Don't hesitate to put any questions in the chat. Good now, Brenda. And also good now to those in private mode as well. All right. So yeah, we're all familiar with these three states. As you're living in just a regular state of consciousness, waking state, as you may notice that there's always a desire for doing better, being better, you're looking to improve or something. There's always a desire there, right? It takes effort to accomplish things. You're always doing. Whereas as you grow into higher states, you're more being, and things just start to happen. It's hard to explain. Um, but in this state too, there tends to be a lot of stress. And what just TM does is it helps your nervous system become very flexible, especially if you're practicing and you're living in everyday society. It helps your nervous system become more flexible and resilient. And so when stresses do occur, they don't land and stay in a body. You're easy. You can get through them a lot easier. So, I call transcendental consciousness the bridge between waking state and transcendental consciousness. Um, so when you're meditating TM, do you think dreaming state is just our mind playing, or is it a doorway to truths or waking consciousness isn't ready to face yet? I have not studied it to that depth, but I believe it's our subconscious trying to tell us something through symbols and through images, because that's how it's easier to kind of convey. It's not doesn't really talk, but that's just my belief, but not based on any science. And even I don't think there has been like there's no agreement just yet in a scientific community as to what dreams mean. Do they have a meaning, or are they just your body releasing stress and that's how it's showing up? So that's a good question, Jack. Thank you. What do you think? Because you may have noticed, you may have experienced something that I haven't. I think to people who have had near-death experiences have a different perspective. Like it's kind of like I don't know, they just see things differently when they come back. Your dreams are fascinating to you. I love it. Do you feel like Irene? Do you feel like so my mind goes like, hello ADHD. Anyway, let me start with what I was going to ask you first. Do you feel like they are like what Jack asked? Are they messages to you, or how do you interpret your dreams? And then I know some people have premonitions, like that is kind of how they get messages. I think dreams have a message or truth behind it. Thank you, Justin. I feel like it's my subconscious talking to my regular conscious. Yeah. That's kind of where I'm leaning towards as well. Good now, Hamila. But again, I haven't scientifically studied that, so I'm not going to claim you receive as is. It as. I receive it as. If you mean moments of deja vu, I agree with that as well. You know what's interesting, and this is a little bit off topic. Dr. Amen, through the brain health training, he believes that deja vu is a misfiring in the brain that can be fixed through nutraceuticals and supplements. You hit two sentences. I figured as much, Tatika. It looked like an incomplete sentence that you were still. I figured you were still typing. So I'm curious too, Justin. Like, because deja vu really is like I've been here before. I've seen this before. But according to Dr. Amen, I would like to, me. I'm going to study more of the brain. According to him, it's not real. It's like the brain misfiring or something. I'm like, but how? The brain misfires in different ways. It's interesting that it would show up that way, in a way that feels like you've been in that space before, right? So, thank you, Justin. That was a nice caveat, or a nice detour a little bit. And Tatika, feel free. If you're still typing, I don't know, because I don't see bubbles. I need to suggest that to IT. Like, can you make chat bubbles, talk bubbles happen so that the teachers know that someone's actually typing and they're not just staring at the screen? Love deja vu. I believe it's part of the parallel time. Me too, Linda. I will say he's more in the science realm more so. Although his new book that is coming out, Change Your Brain, Change Your Pain, he's talking about emotional pain. So I can't wait to read that. I pre-ordered it because you know me. I love to help with reducing pain. All right. So transcendental consciousness, what that means. For one, it is the fourth state of consciousness. Oops. I clicked the wrong button. Transcendental consciousness. That would be awesome, the chat bubbles. I know, but from a tech angle. I know, you're right. Irene, a gal after my own heart. I know. I would be curious to see, like, if that would. I wonder if they experimented with that. Good now, Hamila. Are you a teacher here on IT, Irene? Speaking of which, are there any teachers in the house? Caitlin is one. I do know that. If there are, okay. If there are, you're just a fellow geek with me? Okay, that works. If there are any teachers here, feel free to put in the chat and let us know that you're a teacher here on IT and what you do so people can check you out if it resonates. Okay, so transcendental consciousness is a fourth state of consciousness. What they have found on the scientific side is that your body is, so they're studying brain waves. I took a screenshot of a brainwave pattern. What they have found is that your body is in like a deep, deep rest, but you're still very alert. I swear that because I practice TM twice a day, that's one thing that's getting me through if I don't get enough sleep at night. Like I get 40 extra minutes twice a day, and it just helps keep me going. But it's it has shown just the the brain waves, the way they show waking state versus transcendental state. The brain has more coherent patterns, and it shows the different waves like the alpha and all that. I do not have that stuff memorized, but it shows like you're asleep, but you're also wide awake. So how does that happen? And that's how they were able to prove that transcendental is a different state of consciousness. I feel like a message is being sent to me in symbols and images. It's not literal as some things or people may be used to, so I can relate, yeah. However, there are people used that connect back to an experience I had with or what they do or did represent in my life. Interesting. Yeah. I'm curious why we can't remember them so well when we wake up. Some people can, and some dreams I can, but not all of them. And I'm like, why? Well, for one, what comes to mind just now is it's a different state of consciousness. So it makes sense, kind of, maybe. I don't know. I'm not going to even pretend to know that part. But yeah, so TC, Transcendental Consciousness, it's not something you could think your way into. It happens when you transcend thought and time. And that is what specifically TM does. I cannot speak for other forms of meditation because I have not studied them like that. I love that perspective. It feels like dreams borrow characters from our past, not to retell the story, but to translate an inner message or waking mind. Our waking mind might otherwise ignore. I love it. Beautifully stated. Thank you, Jack and Tatika. I love it. I love it. Love it. If I studied dreams more, I would have a whole conversation with y'all on that. But I am not there yet. I'm going to still. Also, anyone who is part of the Lettuce family, and I'm capturing like y'all's quotes and stuff, I am creating a better document for that. It's going to be easier to navigate and prettier. Right now it's in the Word doc that I share with you all. But yep, our subconscious and our source is so good at that. That's kind of how I interpret it as well. But I don't have any science behind it, so it definitely is just an opinion. Well, I will say it's also, it feels like an experience as well, which in the past, the reason that Maharishi made sure that he could show that transcendental consciousness was a different state is because there's, on the outside looking in, you can't tell a difference. And so as opposed to it just being anecdotal or just people just saying this is what they're experiencing, he can actually show and prove it. I don't know how, that is so brilliant that he decided to do that. My nephew and I feel like when we dream, we go to our other life and sometimes wake up more tired than when we went to sleep. I have experienced that too. One of the girls in my class, I told her I would love to bring her on because of she's actually been studying dreams for a long time. So I might bring her to Tips Over Tea and be one of the interviewees. Yeah, I told her, I was like, if be ready, people are going to want to know more, learn more. So she probably won't be on for a while. I gotta help build her up to be ready for all of that because it's fascinating. It's gonna be a great conversation, and I'm probably just gonna let her just take it. But nonetheless, um, transcendental consciousness is where yoga actually begins. Yoga, not the posture, but yoga, the unity of self. So it's when the transcendental self starts to unite with your waking self to become one whole self. Maybe rest isn't the absence of experience. Maybe it's just consciousness changing realms. I like it. I like that perspective. So, with transcendental consciousness, the way this is designed when you do TM is you dive in to your big S self, your deep self, your transcendental self every time you meditate, and then you come out into activity. And but each time you go in, a part of your transcendental self will be available to you during your waking state. One of the analogies that Maharishi uses, which I love because it's so vivid, he's really good at doing that, is the dyed cloth analogy, where you dip it in it back in the day. Nowadays, less things are done by hand. But you dip it in a bucket of dye, you hang it out in the sun. So you're dipping in, that's your transcendental state. You hang it out in the sun, that's your state of activity as you're participating throughout the day. The sun bleaches it out. And then you dip it back in the dye again, and you do that until at some point the sun can't bleach the dye out. It's completely, it's set. The color is set. So as we do with transcendental meditation, you dive in, you come out. You dive in, you come out. Which every time you dive in, like I was talking about earlier, your nervous system is getting reset and cleansed, so to speak, for lack of a better word. And the more it gets purified through transcending, then you evolve to the higher states that the dye is sticking in more and more. I feel so bad when my spirit subconscious takes the time to curate a dream, to articulate a message, and I don't take the time to process it when I wake up. I feel like I'm getting the aw, don't do that to yourself. Why would you? Don't do that to yourself. Don't feel bad. Like, you'll get the message at some point. That could have just been the seed being planted. Don't worry about it. Don't stress yourself. Because then you make it harder to evolve. Stop stressing. So yeah, that is transcendental. Good. I like it. We should be able to laugh at ourselves. So the next state, so when transcendental consciousness and waking state start to coexist, then you're what Maharishi calls cosmic consciousness. Lynn says she feels that too, Jamila. And Jack says, no judgment needed. Your subconscious clearly hasn't given up on you. Even noticing this is already part of listening. Jack, I love it. Batika, I feel like they'll keep coming back till we get it. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Just like when someone tells you something that's really profound and you don't like grasp it at the time, and then like later on when something happens, you're like, oh, that's what they were talking about. Yeah. So transcendental is something that sticks with you while awake. Once you've done it enough times. So like right now, I'm pretty sure I'm not cosmic. I have not reached cosmic consciousness yet. Transcendental, when you're meditating, you're in transcendental consciousness. And when you're meditating TM, I cannot speak to other forms of meditation because I've not studied those. But when you're meditating with TM, you're in the state of transcendental consciousness. And then when you come out of meditation, you're back into waking state. But every time you go in, you bring a little bit of that transcendental consciousness out with you, like the dye comes and it stays a little bit more, it stays a little bit more, it stays a little bit more. And then at some point, you've dove in enough times and then TC is it doesn't get faded out, and that's when you're at cosmic consciousness. Does that make sense, Justin? Good now, Verna. Fatiga says, no judgment. I have an authentic relationship with self. We have to laugh at each other. Absolutely. Good now, Solomon. So, at cosmic consciousness, like I said, both states of consciousness coexist. Your nervous system had to prepare itself. And so it's like two forms of your nervous system kind of parallel with each other at this time. There is a deeper inner silence. There is more sense of self because you, like that big S self, that transcendental self is more part of who you are in everyday activity. So you have a more stable inner calmness even while you're busy. You have less reactivity, which is very helpful. You get to enjoy things without being attached to it. In self-control, it just becomes spontaneous, not forced. Like I was talking to Linda about yesterday, how as you get to that point, you're more guided by nature, and nature wants everything to live and grow. So it just starts to become that you start to pick up more healthy habits, like without even forcing yourself. You start to eat better. You start to take care of your body better. You start to take care of things more better, because that's proper English. Because you're led more by nature. Jack says exactly, and that noticing feels like the bridge between the dream state and the waking. Awareness itself might be the moment the message starts integrating, even before we fully understand it. I love that. The mo better makes it mo better. Exactly, Hamila. Do you believe that people can inadvertently fall into higher states? They can experience higher states. You cannot inadvertently fall into higher states, because to be in a higher state permanently, your nervous system has to get to a certain way of acting. People have experienced what it feels like to be in higher states, yes. And then they can't figure out why they can't repeat it, and it's because their nervous system has not evolved to actually sustain that higher state. Yeah, yes, experience, yes. I was born cosmic. I can dig it. We were talking about on school webinar the other night. Someone was like, "Why can't babies already be born in higher states of consciousness or something?" It's like, my opinion is because things are inherited. When you're in a womb, however your mom, whatever she experiences, you're inheriting some of that. So your nervous system is not resilient enough to resist stresses, however that shows up in your life. So you have to cultivate the nervous system. I don't know. My nephew told us he recalls choosing his mom at the mommy store before he got here. So who says they're not? I do not discount that either. But one thing I do know, like, you know how some people have, we're all born differently. Some people are born with less stress. Some people can raise to levels of higher states of consciousness more quickly than others. So I will not negate anyone's experience. Mom certainly did not resist stresses. She was an avoidant. Yeah. So I also think our lives might have been the better of two choices before birth. It's interesting, Irene. Can you tell me, what do you mean by that? Jamila said, I've heard another cosmic friend's sons say the same thing. So it's a fun concept, but when I think about it, he chose wisely. My sister is a great guide. I love that. That is so cool. You know, we're spending most of our life trying to remember. So I love that he remembers at such an early age. We're trying to get back to remembrance. Remembering who we really are, our cosmic self. So, cosmic consciousness. The next state of consciousness named by Maharishi is called God consciousness. And basically, it's just you have it's just more refinement of the nervous system, refinement of perceptions, increased appreciation of like the beauty around you, the intelligence, the order in life, emotional richness without overwhelm. um, while I know I'm nowhere near God consciousness, what I have noticed is that I don't I don't get so overwhelmed and overcome with emotions like I used to. I am a lot more steady. Sometimes to the degree that I'm like, am I still feeling something? Because like I work with a lot of people with trauma and things, and I've always been able to hold space, but it feels like I'm able to hold even more space because I'm not absorbing their their pain. I'm able to transmute it and help them release it. I was talking to my therapist about this yesterday. Oh, what about what part, Tatika? So that's God consciousness. But yeah, it's just the way you perceive things. I love the mountain analogy that one of my professors used. It's like like I said, every state of consciousness, they have their vision, and I actually will talk about knowledge being structured in consciousness. So he's like, as you go up a mountain, you see one person, they tell you everything they see, and all they can see is right here or below them, right? And then you go further up the mountain, and that person can see like what they see is true, and all they see they can tell you. And then you go up and you go up, and everybody has their own view, and their view is true to them at that moment. So if you've ever read a book and you gone back and read it again later, and you like picked up more, it's because your consciousness expanded. So that's where knowledge structured in consciousness comes from. It's like the more your consciousness expands, the more knowledge you have, the more knowledge you have access to. You have the Kuan Yin power, my friend, goddess of compassion, the ability to be with suffering and then aid in transmuting it with sheer pure presence. Thank you, Caitlin. That's funny because her card deck called to me when I saw it. I have her oracle cards. So I hope that analogy was helpful. But it's like they see what they see, and just like with kids, right? Their consciousness has not expanded yet, so their knowledge is very limited. So the more you expand your consciousness as you evolve, the more knowledge that you have access to, and you're pulling from the unified field, so it's not as limited. Reminds me of that analogy of looking at the moon but not the stars heavens above. I don't know that analogy. Justin, you want to share it? And so finally, once your nervous system is refined enough and even more, you reach unity consciousness. That is the seventh state. Although towards the end of his life, Maharishi started talking about Brahman, which is like even more unified than unity, but I don't have enough data on that to share. So with unity consciousness, you remember I was saying with cosmic consciousness and same with God consciousness, there's still kind of that duality. There's the big self and the little self. They're working in tandem as opposed to against each other like it does in waking state sometimes. But with unity consciousness, I am that, thou art that, this is that, everything is that, and you are that. So everything is just one. Like there is no duality. It's literally just everything is united. I told her I feel unbalanced, reactive because I haven't been as committed and faithful to my meditation practice as I have been. When I'm in this constant flow, I feel like I elevate not only in that time, but there is an organic spiritual alignment throughout the day that causes pause for me to listen and receive. I love that. And that is why I host meditation every morning. So yes, stick with it, mama. Yeah, and it's true. I will say it's been so long since I've gone without meditation that, and I don't want to remember how out of flow feels, but I still have moments, of course, and because I am human, but it's definitely been easier. My nervous system has definitely built up some resilience for sure, because I've been doing twice a day, I think for over a year now. Once a day, well over a year. Let me see what that. Actually, yeah, it's been over a year because I committed to twice a day last November. because I was like, I noticed when I was doing it twice a day, I felt better and I felt the difference, as opposed to doing it once a day. TM, they recommend twice a day, 20 minutes. And so last November, I was like, I don't care what it takes. And even if it's not a full 20 minutes, it's 10 or 15, I'm going to meditate twice a day. I love that, Tatika. Have been thinking. What you been thinking, KD? Justin says, don't think feel is like a finger pointing away from the moon. Don't concentrate on the finger or you will miss all that heavenly glory. Bruce Lee. Got it. Yeah. Yep. I love that. It's good stuff. Thank you, Justin. So, yeah, with unity consciousness and even the other states of consciousness, your thoughts become more powerful because they're coming from the unified field, the field that transcends our waking state. So they become more powerful, and sometimes you get to a point where you just think something and it'll happen. Like you won't even have to effort or explain it, it just starts happening. And while I'm nowhere near these higher states of consciousness, I have seen it happen in my life where I would just think something, and it's not just that synchronicity thing, it's like deeper than that. And things would just pop up or things would happen. And I also feel like I'm a lot more aligned. Outside of like having conversations with you all, beautiful souls, I don't usually plan these talks. I just, like, what comes next? It just pops up some kind of way. I don't think it, I'm like, something will come. And if it doesn't, then it wasn't supposed to be. I'm like, don't force, you just be. So like Justin was saying, just be. Wondering, not thinking, okay, if my practice is carrying me through the day with intermittent pauses naturally, that's what I've been thinking about lately. I love it. Divine guidance, exactly, Lynn. I'm not doing the think thing. I love it, Katie. Layla was my card today, the saint of spoken words. Every word I say becomes a prayer. When I am the author of my own story. She was a poet, and through her practices, she found unity in all things. And hold on, it moved up. And the freedom that follows. She teaches us is we are not separate from the soul, and if the soul is not, and that the soul is not separate from the divine, that we have the power to co-create our life. The words we use have the power to change the trajectory of our lives. Absolutely. Thank you, Caitlin. I love poetry too. Datika says, I'm going to reset starting in January with 2 a day. Of course, that is aligned with journaling, prayer, and tea. I love it. It's been calling me. I truly believe my spirit calls me to prepare for what is coming. 2026 will be a big year, and I need to be prepared for it. Yes, yes, and more yes. Justin says, so basically, taking up something and there's no pushback within, you're able to start and be fully immersed into what you're doing. Yeah. You're able to just be in the moment. You're not thinking about, that's the other part I wanted to talk about too. Like, non-attachment happens automatically. You don't force it. You know how people try to just detach themselves from things. They try to stop doing, like they're efforting to be detached. It happens automatically because as you raise into your level of consciousness, your mind and heart are full. So your mind and heart are the ones that create that have that desire to do stuff, right? So it's always looking for the next best thing, the next best thing. When you are elevating in the consciousness, levels of consciousness, your mind and your heart are satisfied. So you can experience and still have fun, but you don't have that longing for, I want to do that again. You're like, this is great, but I'm so content right now. Like, I don't need that. So the detachment piece does not happen by force. It doesn't happen by intention. It happens naturally as your nervous system shifts and changes and you evolve. So you don't have to force anything. It will start to happen automatically. Oh, thank you, Chantel. Let's see, I'm just looking at my how you call it, outline. Yep, said that. One of the things that we talked about too is, renunciation, which is you're renouncing things, which is kind of like what I was talking about too. When you renounce things, that also happens naturally when you transcend. You're basically renouncing the waking state for a moment. It's like, all right, I'm going to put that on the shelf and I'm going to go down here and hang out for a bit and infuse myself with all this wonderfulness, and then you come up. Um, what's beautiful about what I've learned is, for years we were thinking that the only way we can reach enlightenment, unity consciousness, God consciousness, and cosmic consciousness, that's basically enlightenment or yoga. Those are exchangeable words. Um, we used to think that we'd have to go and live, like renounce, get rid of all of our things and go live somewhere away from the world. Well, that is a way you can do it, but you can also do it in waking state and live your whole life and still elevate to enlightenment. That was like one of my favorite things. I'm like, stop playing. So it's just a matter of cultivating your nervous system to be able to sustain that level of consciousness. So yeah, did I cover everything? Interesting. Detachment is not entirely easy to do. I do try to critique myself in a way of what I need to cultivate or give up to reach these. Yeah, you don't. It's just like when I'm teaching people how to shift their habits, right? The way you get rid of a bad habit is not by forcing yourself to stop doing it. It's by focusing on the good habit to replace it. And eventually the bad habit just falls away. It's almost the same thing. It's like as you cultivate what you're looking to do, the other my mind, as you cultivate doing what you're wanting to do or what's in your best good, the other stuff just naturally falls away without you even thinking about it, without you even trying. And as you think about it, as your consciousness raised, your interest and desires, I'm using that word loosely because we don't have desires because you're full in everything, but that changes, right? Like as a kid, you like your toys. I'm not saying that when you're 46 years old you don't like toys, but like your interest in your things that capture your attention, they change. And the same thing as you elevate in consciousness. Let's see. Katie says, had an experience in an impromptu conversation that was an unexpected when some engineers came in to inspect my library. Checked in later with someone about it who observed it. He affirmed that my dialogue was clear and made sense in light of another person's versus bigoted and weird comments. We just laughed. Katie, what you talking about? That completely went over my head. But I'm glad y'all had a laugh. I will laugh at myself in a heartbeat. I am one of those, like, you know how people there's always someone who there's a joke told and then like after everybody else finishes laughing they finally get it. That would be me. Yesterday, the idea of thinking oh and not doing. Got it. See, I told you I'm one of them. I get it late. So now when you think about it, it's like if you think about this, if you've been consistent in your meditation, kind of Tatika pointed it out, if you've been consistent in your meditation, can you remember how you felt before you started being consistent in your meditation? Have you noticed the difference? Have you noticed that you like different things or that other things? Like, I was never huge on violent movies, but I have noticed that energy does not entertain me so much anymore. So it's just like, what has changed? And y'all feel free to share if you've been consistent in your practice, or even if it's not been super consistent, but you've noticed like a difference just because you've been practicing. Feel free to share. Let us know what you've been experiencing. Like what has gotten easier for you, and it's probably a gradual thing. And I know I kind of ran through that. Are there any questions? Because that's pretty much all I had. I wasn't stressed or offended. It was just weird. Okay, and I was super aware of what was happening in the moment. I love that, Katie. Got it. I like it. think that was everything. Knowledge, physiology, consistency. So this was taken from a presentation. I took out the whole purpose of my presentation initially. It was for school, was to inspire people to have a consistent practice with TM. Because what I notice is TM is taught one-on-one to every student. And then they have 4 check-ins like right after that session just to make sure they're getting it. They've got their mantra down and all that. And I was like, outside of that, what keeps people doing? I mean, you do feel better even after the first session, but people feel good when they've lost weight and yet they still gain weight back. So it's like, what would keep someone motivated or inspired to stay consistent in their practice? So I took out the first couple of slides because that's what it was focused on, about like, what is your intention? Why did you learn meditation to begin with? And staying focused on that. So that's where part of the slides came from. Been meditating daily for 8 years, and so many positive changes, more compassion and equanimity. Yes. Less resistance to react. Yes. Thank you. Absolutely. That is true, Megan. Like, I will still sometimes pout, but I also know what's happening. Oh my goodness. I love that, Megan. Thank you. Thank you. I love it. I'm nowhere near 8 years. I'm going on year 3 for once a day, and you just made a year and change for twice a day. Justin says, yeah, I noticed a change, but I still think things are gradually changing, but I'm much better from where I'm at now than before meditating. But after this live, I'd like to get these higher states. I just want to be a better version of me. Yeah, me too. And plus, things are just easier because you're not second guessing yourself. You have more self-assurance. It's just, that's what I've noticed. I remember in the beginning of the school, they're like, TM has been shown to help people have more self-confidence. And I was like, how does meditation help? I see it. Now I see it. It's, again, this is what an apple tastes like. And you're like, okay, great. When you taste it, then you have the experience of it. So you got to be there. But yeah, Verna says, I have become more aware of when and why I feel annoyed at my job. I have built up a tolerance and awareness, and it's easier to move through the annoyances. I love it. Thank you, Verna. Jamie says, for me, it's not about giving things up. It's about being happy with less, and it's not less in a way that we think of it. It's being happy with the simple things in life because there is more happiness inside. Yes, so we don't have to try to fill the void. Exactly. That's kind of what I was talking about. Your mind and heart are full, and that's what I've noticed too. It's like, I love doing this. I'm not doing this in expectation of anything. So I am really surprised because I forget about it when I see a donation come up. I'm like, oh yeah, that. And I'm really like, I just want you to win. So I want to educate you in the best ways that I have found to do that. And so that's part of that non-attachment. You're not attached to the fruits of the outcome, right? So you're just doing the right thing as best as you can. Katie says, my meditation practice supports my work in therapy and is required homework for me to get the most out of my sessions. I love that. Current therapist and prior therapist. My prior therapist, the one who told me about Insight Timer. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Thank you, Katie. Megan says, same here, Katie. My therapist requiring 10 minutes a day of meditation and introducing me to Insight Timer changed my life. Now a teacher on here. Ah, Megan, were you in here when I said, please tell people if you're a teacher? Any other teachers come in here, please share what you do. And thank you for the hearts, by the way. I see. Maybe I can get them. Okay, there we go. I've actually told my therapist about IT. I love that, Verna. I wasn't grateful for you. Grateful for you too. Well, please share what you do so people can find you and follow you. I wish I could. I wish they would let us put actual teacher cards up. If you have an event planned, they let you put the other teachers' events up, but not their like card like you see mine right here to follow them. They don't have that. Tatika says, I'm learning that as things change in my body and my life, my practice also must adjust. Yes, I have been engaging in the spiritual realm for over 20 years. I have a plethora of journals that have tracked this journey. The most powerful relationship I have, yes, that is what yes, is myself. Sorry, I'm reading and I keep forgetting that some of you may not even be looking at the screen, so let me keep reading. The most powerful relationship I have is with myself. Just like any relationship of mine with myself ebbs and flows, I am grateful for my connection to self. Yes, yes, yes. Yvonne says, sound healing teacher. Yay, hey, Yvonne. Am I saying your name correctly? And Megan says she teaches mindfulness meditation for change makers. Love it. Lots of self compassion and somatics in Chicago. Yes. Yay, yay, yay. If y'all are inclined, please send me Evan. Okay. Like Evan, but with a B. Evan. Okay, Evan. Thank you. Evan. If y'all are open, send me the link to your profile. They don't make it easy. Like I can't click on your face and hit follow. I don't know why. I'll listen. Irene, is it probably a tech thing from a tech standpoint, especially with having to have two different iOSs, well not iOSs, OSs for the cell phones. But yeah, thank you, Evan and Megan, and Caitlin is also a teacher here. Are there any other teachers in the house? Good now, Chandra. Good now, Ryan. But yeah, any thoughts, questions? I would take this picture in picture off, but I don't remember how to. I'll play with that another time. Thank you for the hearts. My computer's like, yeah, I don't want to. Come on. There we go. Can you quickly list the 7 states? Yes. Tatika says, in each yoga with meditation in Charleston, I teach yoga. Thank you. But I have been considering expanding my reach to IT and other platforms. Yeah, man, do it. Yes, the first 3 states, waking, sleeping, dreaming, those are the first 3 states of consciousness. The 4th state is transcendental. And these are named by Maharishi, so if you've heard it in other terms, go with it. The 5th state is cosmic consciousness. The 6th state is God consciousness. There's another term for it because I know that the word God can kind of trigger some things in people. I just can't think of the other name right now. And the 7th state is unity consciousness. So it's the difference between the God state and unity is, yep, it's time. And with unity consciousness, there's no more duality. Everything is one. You recognize everything to be one. With God and cosmic consciousness, there's still a coexistence of the transcendental and the waking. Yes, within yourself, in your nervous system. Yep. Thank you. I think I can bring y'all over here. If I bring you over here, does it mess up the screen? See? Now you see all the screens. Okay, I don't want to do that. Confuse you. Yep. Any other questions? I scheduled it for 2 hours because I wasn't sure how long it would take and how long I would go through the material, how many questions there would be. But again, this is on this has been recorded, so if you've missed any parts of it, the tube of you, I am Antara Mastery everywhere. Inner mastery, because that is my goal. Something to look into after this, but this is really cool. Thank you. I am using 2 screens, Linda. That's why you keep seeing me look to the right, because that's where y'all are. Good now, April. I love your presentation design. Where can we see the recording? On the tube of you. If you look for Antara Mastery, you should find me. If not, you can also go to my profile here. Go to my profile here, go to About, and scroll down to my link, and you'll see a link to the tube. Okay, I will look for it. Is it live there now? I'm actually streaming live right now, so once this ends, it'll be there on the site. Tubular, yes, on the tubular. Solomon, man, a few words, but always just love when he says something. Any other thoughts, questions, comments? And of course, you're also welcome to message me. I do have my inbox open. Oh my goodness, who has a llama or what is it, Debbie? Alpaca. Is it alpaca or llama? I freaking love those animals. Squirrel. Everything's a squirrel for me. Yes, I wondered how you multitask so efficiently on your lives. Oh, thank you. Yeah, on these types of lives is the 2 screens. In the mornings, I don't use 2 screens because it's just us meditating. And same with the Free Flow Friday, I don't need 2 screens. But when I have like my outline, and if I want to share slides, I will use 2 screens. Gratitude for this. You're so welcome. Yeah, because y'all are on my other screen, which y'all saw briefly, like you could see. So, Solomon, I hope your mama's doing good. Yes, I don't know what happened, but me too. Thank you for the hearts. Okay, well, if there are no other questions, comments, concerns at this time, then I will close us out. Let's see. Katie says, I was explaining something to a kid this week, and I said, well, light is the opposite of dark. White is opposite of black. And where did that come from, Katie? Solomon says, Mom started oxygen and is getting over pneumonia. Oh, man. I hope she's better. Is she better? Pneumonia ain't no joke. Tatika says, have you figured out a way to do Zoom? No, and I kind of want to schedule a session. You know what, I'm doing world meditation tomorrow, so maybe we could try it then. But I can use the interview feature on here that doesn't require Zoom, and I can have up to 10 people just with this platform, this software. I just haven't figured out. Like Zoom, y'all could see them, right? But I couldn't hear them. So I have to figure that out. Thank you, everyone, says Solomon. Of course. It was something about duality and the idea of looking at things with more curiosity. I love that, Katie. Good now, Jessica. She started antibiotics and is doing better, thankfully. Good, good, good. I'm glad, Solomon. Verna says she's sending healing light and peace to Mama Solomon. Yes. Yes, yes. Same here. Yeah. Me too, Solomon. Feel better, Mama. Absolutely. Champa says, hi, Nicole, and all listening while getting ready have missed catching your lives. Oh, California time is too early for your 8. Oh, yeah. It can be. No worries, Champa. I get it. Most of my Cali people, if they can't sleep, that's when they join. Although Arinda, she's consistent with, she is up at 2:30. That is so early. I appreciate you, Arinda. I can't say that I would do the same. So I'm glad you're there every morning. Katie says, I don't remember exactly what we were talking about, but it helped to get her to figure out her own question. I love that, Katie. That's what Solomon says 2:30 is bathroom break. I love it. I'm glad, Arinda. One of these days, says Champa. No, don't push it. Don't force it. If you want to kind of participate, I usually post them on the tubular. So you can listen to me chatting with everybody and then going into meditation. Justin says, y'all have a great day heading out. Great live. Lot to learn and study up on. Be easy, fam. Lettuce fam. You too, Justin. Justin's like 10 years old and he's talking about some be easy. I don't know, Katie. This squirrel got me. Let me see what was that in reference to? Was it something you said? This squirrel stole my attention. Sending big light and healing. Jessica says lettuce. It's so different live. I bet, Arinda. Yeah, I don't remember, Katie. What was I talking about? about duality in the kid and curiosity. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that you didn't try to answer the question. That's how I coach. I don't answer the question. I ask questions to help them come to their own clarity, because I want, at some point they got to fire me. I need them to fire me because they're trusting themselves. They are strong. Their mastery, inner mastery, is a thing. So the fact that you help them lead themselves down to their own answer, that is, I commend. Yep. Tatika, I see you live in Charleston. That's my fave place. Ooh, I love that, Jessica. Well, I'm going to be doing something in person in Charleston, so if you want to come down, Jessica, once Tatika and Natalia and I figure out what, Linda says, I realize TM cannot be taught without officially completing the teacher requirements. I'm practicing TM and obtaining your mantra. Is it appropriate to teach mindful meditation? Can Is it appropriate for me to teach mindful, Linda? Is that what you're asking? Tatika's like, please, let's do something. Yes, so mindful meditation, I don't think there's like a specific, like TM, I believe is trademark, copyrighted, whatever, the process, maybe, to keep its, so that it doesn't get skewed, and to ensure that things are done properly. So I believe mindfulness you should be able to teach, because everybody has their own definition, their own process for mindfulness, whereas TM is very specific on how it's taught. So I don't see why it'd be an issue for to teach mindfulness meditation. Jack says, I've got to head back to work, but I'm leaving with a full mind and a lighter spirit. Grateful for this shared space and everyone's insights. Beautiful energy here. See y'all soon. Later, Jack. I'm so glad you stopped in, love. Jessica said, hit the road, Jack. Have a good day. I know, yep. Tatika's working on it. Katie says, by Friday I'm exhausted from not answering someone's questions a certain way, but it makes sense. A little Socratic methodology for the babies. Yeah, because it's like, later, Jack. Because it's like, it does take a certain kind to be able to not answer. You want to help them, and the best way to help them is the whole analogy: teach them how to fish as opposed to getting the fish for them. So, yeah. I think if you probably would do well to have short, quiet meditations, like 1 to 2 minutes, Katie, throughout the day, so that you're not as exhausted by the end of the week. So if you incorporated 2 to 3 2-minute breaks, I learned that from PQ. I can't claim it. So I have positive intelligence coaching as part of my coaching practice, and that's literally what he has us do. It's like 2 to 5 minutes through 3 times a day, that you just stop and you focus on something to just, it's a way to, it's a mental fitness program, and it's a way to disengage your mind, but in a way that helps rewire it in a better way. So I do that with my grandkids, help them answer their own questions. I love that. Many mindful moments. Y'all, I can't wait to meet Robin. Totally doing that. Yes, Katie. I would love to see how you feel on a Friday. Many mindful moments. I love it. I love it. All right. I know we could just hang out together all day. We do it on Fridays. So, if there are no other questions, comments, concerns, I will go ahead and close out the session. I really thank you for your time. As I say always, because it's so true, you could literally be anywhere else, and you chose to spend this time here with me and everyone, and I am so grateful for that. I hope this has been helpful and enlightening. And again, if you didn't get to see the whole thing, you can find the replay, because we're live right now actually on the tube. You can find it after this is over. You really enjoyed it? Good. You're so welcome, Linda. Linda's the one that created this. We were talking about it. It was during Free Flow Friday, or was it during meditation yesterday, Linda? I can't remember. I think it was during Free Flow Friday. Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, we were talking about that, and I was like, you know what? Maybe that will be tomorrow. She's like, yes, please. Dana says, thank you. You're so welcome, love. All right, loves. Without further ado, may you all. You know, I've decided that I'm not going to say have a good day anymore. I'm going to say, um, what did I say I was going to say? Make it. I forgot how I said it. I haven't gotten used to it yet. Make it count is what I said. Make it count. So may you all create the most amazing now moments and make them count. So, thank you. Thanks, Linda, Nicole, and everyone. Yes, Katie. Here's another use. Use all of your senses for just a few seconds. What you see, smell, taste, hear. Yes. Linda says, have a beautiful weekend, everyone. Happy winter solstice. Thank you, you too. Let us be great, y'all. Yes, Solomon, yes. Sincere gratitude, Nicole. May you all have a free flowing day. Abso-stinking-lutely. Thank you, Robin, for the lettuces. Solomon says, thank you, Nicole, and friend. Katie says, thank you. You all are so welcome. May you all create the most amazing now moments and make it count. That is going to be my thing. I don't know, it just came out of nowhere yesterday, and I was like, yeah, I like that. I'm going to do that. All right, loves. Mwah, mwah. I will see you around the app. If you choose to meditate with me tomorrow, that would be awesome. And if not, you're still awesome. Peace and light to all. Thank you, Verna. Ciao for now, loves. Thank you for the hearts.